Yeah, acoustics is really a must-have to have in the flower stage. We say it's more than in boosters, more than stimulators, more than PK. There's a lot of products inside. That's why we have a lower MPK, because we get the questions, oh, why have the low? Because there's a lot of stuff inside. We cannot add more P and K. It's full. The bottle is full. So why is it a must-have? I think the most important thing is that it gives a little bit of stress. And we call it salt stress. I know when a lot of people listen, oh, stress, I don't want to stress my plants. I think as a grower, you want to reduce the overall stress of the plant, but sometimes you have to trigger in stress, because really stressing a plant, then you get the full potential out of your plant in quantity, but also in quality. And quality, you can look at more on how the plant is tasting, the terpenes and the flavonoids. So in green sensation, there are components, they are not normally used in agriculture, and this will buffer them to the soil. And what happens is the EC in your soil will raise over time, and the plants will overcome that to absorb easily water, because the plant will always live in equilibrium. So if the salt is rising into the soil, we try with green sensation that the plant produce more organic stuff in the plant to come in the same concentration as in the soil. And because of that, the plants will produce more. It's a little bit when you sport and you go to the gym. First, you take your weights, and then you hurt your muscle a little bit, and your body will react on that and make the muscle a little bit stronger. So next time you can pick up more weight. It's the same with green sensation. Every time you create more quantity, more quality in the buds. So when do you start with green sensation? We say around the 4th week of flower, visible flower. Why not earlier? Because in the earlier stage, the plant's still developing roots, making leaves, making branches, because we don't want to disturb that process. So is that established, then green sensation come in, and then just 1 of 1,000. We never advise you to use more, because it makes no sense. Just small, and every time if you water your plants, you can add green sensation until the last week before you start your flushing. The problem is that you will overdo in potassium. And if you look, potassium is plus charged. Calcium has 2 plus charge ion with it. So the plants like to absorb potassium easier than calcium. So if you overdo potassium and the plant wants calcium, it's then not available. So the plant will take up potassium instead of calcium. So yes, you lock out calcium. So that is why it's always wise to don't overdo it, or bring other P and Ks in it, or PK3014 with green sensation together to get a higher P and K. If you do that, you have to bring more calcium. But if you bring more calcium, you also bring more magnesium. And if you bring, so more iron. So everything is in balance. That's important. When you change something, look to the overall ratios. And that's why we make the schedule to ensure that you always get the good ratios in elements. You can use in every substrate and every system. It has more benefit when it is in a substrate, because it can buffer there, it can sit there. In higher system, less effect than in cocoa or peat moss substrate. It's not considered organic, and you can use it in drip system or in ebb and flow, and definitely can use it in all irrigation systems.